This is the first full-length mirror I've found, but first day of orientation, outfit of the day. We just had campus tour and we're setting up a whole bunch of IT things today. So pretty relaxed day. I could have left an hour ago, but I was just doing some of the trainings while I was still in the library, and it's around 4 o'clock. So time to head home, get dinner. So day 2 of orientation is in the books. Today there were a couple more tasks, but there was still a lot of free time in between to kill. So we started out with a presentation on wellness in medical school, and the Office of Mental Health came and talked to us. And then we had a presentation on the student health insurance plan. And then we started taking ID badge photos. And so I officially have my ID. And it's not the best picture, but when are they ever? And so while we were doing ID photos, we also got a brief speech from the president of the entire university. So that was also very nice that she took the time to come visit and talk to us. And it was just a really sweet talk that she gave. And then we took white coat photos. So lots of pictures today. Took white coat photos for a composite. So essentially, we got a sample white coat to put on for the picture, and then they'll put it all into a composite poster. And then there was takeaway lunch. You're just not allowed to eat in the hospital, and at least inside of the building because of COVID and everything. So we took our lunches out into the courtyard and ate them there, and had a bunch of time to kill before then there was an open Q&A session for the student health services as well as IT. And while my phone has still not been able to connect to the internet on campus, the line for IT was just way too long. So I did go to student health services, turned in all my immunization forms and everything like that, and picked up my ID, and I am done for the day. There is technically a social event tonight. There's a kind of BYOB party at the student on-campus housing, but it's not until 7 p.m. and it is currently 4. And so I did not want to just sit around for 3 hours and kill time. Also, it seems like a lot of the people who live off campus weren't going anyways. So I'm heading home. I'm going to work on some of the trainings that we have to do. Very, fun, sarcastically. Things like active shooter trainings and health and safety and infection prevention, infectious disease and all of that. So second day in the books. 2/5 of the way through orientation. So far it's going well. I mean, there's a decent amount of time to kill every day, which I feel could have been done a little bit more efficiently. But from what the schedule appears, at least, tomorrow and Thursday are going to be jam-packed. So hopefully it will be a little less time to kill tomorrow. But I'm happy.
Is that a cookie?
Post-orientation car update, day 3. So today we had Honestly, probably the most content that we've had out of the 3 days. We've still kept with our trend of having probably a little bit too much time to kill in the middle between sessions than anyone would like, but we had a few presentations on sort of professionalism and our professional like image as physicians, and trying to remember what some of the very beginning sessions were. Like, we had our welcome from the dean today. They presented an overview of our class, so what states and schools our classmates were from, and that our just whole class was made up out of. We have so much diversity and representation. It's really cool. And also just sort of what their majors were and what sports everyone played, or musical instruments, or work experiences, just all kinds of stuff. And so it was really cool to see just sort of, it was like a de-identified just like overview of the class, with some few like jokes thrown in there from our dean of admissions. But that was really cool. Then we had a take out lunch. Again, we can't eat on inside the building, so we had some Panera that we took to go outside. And then when we came back in, we had some presentations on essentially respectful learning environments and social media and Title IX, and just some of those types of logistical items. And then we had a really cool activity where we were given these masks, as in not face masks, but masks, and we were supposed to paint the outside what we wanted our professional sort of image to be, or what we wanted to present as a physician. And then we could paint the inside of the mask with sort of what we wanted to keep to ourselves or keep private, or sort of our personal private identities. So that was a really fun exercise, very artistic and unique, I think. So I think everyone kind of sat there, or at least most people sat there for a minute, just kind of staring at their masks, having no idea what to do. But going around and seeing everyone's masks at the end was really, really cool. And then I guess they're going to have us look at them again, they took pictures of all of our masks, so then they're going to show us all those pictures of our of what we painted today. They'll show it to us at the end of our sort of didactic years, or maybe even later. I honestly don't remember when they said they're going to have us look at them again and sort of think about how our perspectives of those things have changed in the few years. Then we ended the day with finding out which societies we were in. So I think most med schools do this, where they separate the class into 4 or however many groups, and they're just sort of little families to have more, to break down the class into smaller groups for just kind of that's where we're doing our sort of clinical patient-centered care skills type thing. We do those within our society groups, and then those are broken down even more into smaller groups with a particular physician as the leader, who we can go to a clinic with them and shadow them and things like that. It's kind of hard to explain, and I think they have competitions between the groups, or things like that. They're typically themed after either the area, the town that the school is in, or influential people from the school, or things like that. So I got to meet my society classmates today and find out which society we were in, so that was fun. And then we got let out an hour early, but it was so hot outside, I stopped for a smoothie, and now I'm on the drive home. So I think there were just sort of informal social events happening tonight that the M2s have been planning, just really kind of like random, informal social events that people can sign up for. So it'll just be like, you know, people getting together for dinner at some place, or going and getting ice cream, or like coming over to their apartment and playing Cards Against Humanity or whatever it is. And it's hosted by the M2s, and sort of like get to know not only each other, but then also our classmates above us. So it was a really long day. Like I said, I think this is the most jam-packed day that we've had so far. And those informal events like go into next week as well. So I think I'm gonna try to go to as many as I can next week, but this week with the long drive is just a bit much. So day 3 is in the books, more than halfway done with orientation.
Curricular overview, if you haven't.
It's like every single day. Full assault of some kind, or at an extreme level, an armed attack. But workplace violence covers a whole range.
I didn't think anything was like. Were they reported last year? Were they this year?
Yes. Historically, in the past as well, they have been.
Oh.